Doesn't look like it really has any hail with it. If it does, it would be on the smaller side. But again, the main threat with this one is upwards of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, this is working off to the east. So if you're in southern Jessamine County, Nicholasville, and southbound along Highway 27 here, if you are in northeastern portions of Boyle County, want to be on the lookout. Again, this is working in your direction. Really, it's right over Harrodsburg right now. Let's turn on some of the lightning. Not a lot of lightning with this, but still a dangerous thunderstorm with some gusty winds that's moving off to the east. Let's go ahead and put a timeline. Again, I mentioned it's moving at around 45 miles per hour or so. Let's show you exactly how long it's going to take to get to your area. And I'm tracking it from the leading edge right through here, which is where the gustiest winds would most likely be with this. Buena Vista around 1252, White Oak 1254. If you're in Hall, 1256. Pink, this is right towards you around 1 a.m. 104 in Buckeye. It's Pollard at 104 and Edenton around 105. So this is working in your direction in the next several minutes. Again, the main threat with this severe thunderstorm warning right now is the threat for damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. Obviously, that's enough to knock down some trees. Obviously, can knock down power lines as well. So that is the main threat here with this one. Let's go ahead, slide a little further to the south and talk about this storm that's working in the direction of Russell County. I'm actually going to switch radar sites as well here, just so we can get a little bit of a better look inside the storm. And again, it's pretty nasty, and this storm has a lot more lightning with it, which is typically an indication that we are seeing a stronger thunderstorm here. When you get a lot of lightning like this, it kind of is one of those hints that this one is stronger. We could even maybe have a little bit of hail in here, but again, this is working in the direction of Russell Springs and portions of Russell County as we speak. It's moving off to the east at slightly faster at around 50 miles per hour, okay? Let's go ahead and put a time tracker on this, especially for our friends that are in Russell County, because it's almost right on top of you here. I'll do it a little faster. If you're in Middletown, 12:59, Jamestown, 1 a.m. I know a lot of people, again, for this weekend down around Lake Cumberland. If you're at Jamestown Marina, areas like that, be on the lookout. 12:59, Russell Springs, Horntown, 104, Font Hill, 105, okay? Let's go ahead and clear this out here. Zoom things out for you. Again, still a very active night. Everybody needs to be on the lookout here, as we do have the risk for these strong to severe storms as the night goes on. We still have that tornado watch in effect for most of, or pretty much all of the area until 6 a.m. So eastern Kentucky, you still got a couple hours most likely before this line gets to you. It's going to take it a little bit, especially our far eastern Kentucky communities. But central Kentucky, this is working through the area right now as we speak. And again, we do have two severe thunderstorm warnings right now in our viewing area. Even though this is not severe, I do want to go ahead and show you in the metro here, we still have some steady rain from Stamping Ground down towards Georgetown, heavy rain, Versailles, Midway. This is working right in the direction of downtown as we speak. And again, this is not severe, but we could still see winds gusting up near 50 miles per hour with this line right here that is about to work through the Lexington area. We also have some severe thunderstorm warnings up in northern Kentucky outside of the viewing area, but again, ones that are of concern. Oh, looks like they just extended this warning now for this line right here. I'm going to go ahead and switch radar sites for us and give you a look from maybe Jackson, see if it looks, this is a hard spot right here where this storm is, because down around the Lake Cumberland region, it's pretty far away, and it has some difficult terrain for the radar beams in Louisville and in Jackson and even down in Nashville. It's a little harder for them to shoot through some of the terrain, and also it's just further away, so sometimes this is a harder area to track things. But now we have this severe thunderstorm warning that includes a large portion of our southern counties. This now includes Wayne County, Pulaski County, McCreary County as well, portions of Whitley County, and even into portions of Laurel County. So the Weather Service is going ahead with this and expanding it out fairly far, just like they did earlier today, to really give people a heads up and time to get into a safe spot. So this now includes the entire Lake Cumberland area, if you're down in that part of the region. And again, all the way over to I-75. So pretty much from just outside the viewing area across the lake and all the way over to I-75. So if you are in this new warning box here, if you're in Pulaski, Laurel, and again, McCreary into Whitley County, this warning now goes until 1:45 for you. This is a pretty strong thunderstorm here. I actually want to take a closer look at it and just see what we're seeing. Stay with us here just for a minute as it's working in the direction of Russell Springs, Jamestown, and eventually Monticello. We likely could possibly be seeing some hail right in here. See those darker black shadings? Sometimes that is an indication. Could be some hail in there. Let's turn on this here. And again, this is trying to pick up on the possibility of some smaller hail in there as well. So that's definitely a possibility, along with the gusty winds and the very heavy rainfall as well for us. So going to continue to watch that. I do want to jump over here though and take a look at any velocity to see if we have any rotation with this, because obviously a concern with this setup we've had today is the chance for some spin up tornadoes, especially along the front line where the gustiest winds are. Right now, if there's any rotation, it'd be right in here south of Burkesville. So it still has to move through Clinton County before it gets over into our viewing area. But there are some pretty strong winds right in here that's working in the direction of southern Russell County, just to the south of Jamestown, and going to work over the lake here in the next little bit. So be prepared for some strong winds here as this is working off to the east, especially, again, if you're on Lake Cumberland, live around Lake Cumberland here, or in portions of Russell County. But this warning still goes. It expands quite far for Wayne, Pulaski, down into McCreary, Whitley, and portions of Laurel County as well. So we still got a little bit of time before it gets over and to some of these other counties. We still got a little bit of time before it makes its way in here, but just be on the lookout as we are tracking this thunderstorm along with this one that's now working into portions of Garrett and into southern Jessamine County. Again, not really seeing a lot of rotation with this at this point, but there is always the risk in this type of setup for a quick spin up tornado with the straight line, or with the gusty winds that are right at the front of these cells here. So we're going to continue to watch this as the night goes on. Obviously, if we need to cut in, we will do so over the next several hours and into the night. If we need to cut in and alert you, we will be here to do just that. So let me reset really quick before we go back to programming, just show you exactly what we're tracking. And then again, a little bit later, we can cut back in if we need to, if warnings are expanded, or if there's something considerable that we need to mention. So let's go ahead and reset. We still have this line of thunderstorms with a few severe, strong to severe storms mixed in with it. Right now, the only warnings, and really the nastiest storm right now, is about to work towards the Lake Cumberland area. This is the storm that is the most potent, I would say, and really the most aggressive looking one at this point. And then we also have this severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds up a little further to the north in portions of central Kentucky. So let's take a look at this one really quick before we go back to programming. Very heavy rainfall now working out of Mercer into southern Jessamine and northern parts of Garrett County. This is also working in the direction of Madison County if you're out towards Richmond, working its way towards you. This is really, the severe part of the storm is really south of the Nicholasville area. So Nicholasville and south, that's where the strongest part. And actually, I might stay with this for just a second, because this latest scan, I just turned on the velocity here. And remember, when we're talking about the chance for a quick spin up tornado or anything, that's definitely a possibility in these setups, as I was mentioning. And you can notice here, which it looks like in this scan, I was looking at one right up here, but there's the reds and greens really coming together right there. So a little bit of rotation with this. So I want to stick with this for just a second, just to see what the next couple of scans on radar say. Because again, there looks like there is, notice where the reds and greens are coming together, a tight little couplet forming there that we want to watch. Because again, just a little bit of rotation, but in a type of setup like this, you can get a quick spin up tornado. So we're going to watch that for just a second. Let's zoom on in, actually, get a closer look at a few of the communities really close. If you're in Marksbury, back towards Judson. It looks like this is US 27 here in portions of Garrett County from Marksbury, and then just to the north of Lancaster. I would go ahead and just play it safe. Be inside, be in your safe spot. Again, because we do have what looks to be a little couplet right here. And when the reds and greens come together, that's what shows us some rotation. Right now, this is just a severe thunderstorm warning. But I do want to keep my eye on that over the next little bit here, because again, in this setup, there is some spin in the atmosphere. So I want to make sure we keep our eye on that and just see if the next couple scans really have anything. Let's take a look at the shear. And actually, the rotation detector is also picking up on this. So I want to stay with this for a minute. If you're in portions of Garrett County, picking up on a little bit of rotation, a tight little couplet here, just to the north of Lancaster, they trimmed back the severe thunderstorm warning. So I would think they're watching this, that the Weather Service. But again, a little bit of rotation here with this. And we saw that couplet there on the velocity. Let me go to just the normal velocity. And there it is. So I am a little concerned about this. We're going to continue to watch it. If you're just to the north of Lancaster along US 127 or US 27 rather, I would go ahead and get in your safe spot. There's no tornado warning with this, but there's a severe thunderstorm warning. And notice where those red and greens meet. It does look like a little bit of rotation with this. So, and again, the radar is picking up on the possibility of some rotation with that as well. So, oh, and here that couplet just moved. We just got the latest scan in. And it's a little more broad, but you can still see it right there. And this is likely, let's go ahead and just turn back on the radar picture here. This is likely right at the, yep, it's right at the front. You can see this little notch right here. This is right at the front of this where the strongest winds are right now at this point with this severe thunderstorm. So I want to take a closer look and just monitor this very carefully here. If you're in Judson, Marksbury, this is right over you. If you're in Judson back towards Tetersville and McCreary, I would go ahead, get in your safe spot just in case. Again, just because we do have a little bit of rotation trying to show up on the radar. Let's go ahead and take a look at that shear again. And again, it's very weak. I want to emphasize that. It is on the weak side, but we do have a little bit of rotation showing up here, and I was noticing it as well in the velocity. It's not as tight of a couplet right now, but notice where those reds and greens come together. So if you're in Judson, McCreary, Tetersville, back toward Neenah, I would go ahead and just play this one safe. Probably go ahead and get in your safe spot in your house just to play this one safe and just to be sure, because again, it does not take much in this environment for a quick spin up tornado to take place. We'll continue to watch that. Let me go ahead and zoom or move things on out here and see what we're tracking. Again, still strong to severe storms back off to the south, again across the Lake Cumberland region. That's where we also have severe thunderstorm warnings. And really, as far as the heavy rain and the gusty winds go, this storm down here working into parts of Russell County right now is the most impressive. But we were still watching that little notch with a little bit of rotation there in parts of Garrett County. Again, not a tornado warning on it, but hey, you still want to play it safe than sorry, just to be safe. And I want to stay with this just for a second here and see if we get an update on the scan. I'm actually going to step out for just a second and see if we get an update here from the Weather Service, see if they are saying anything about that storm. And see if they have any updates on that. Again, we still have that severe thunderstorm warning going pretty much for the entire Lake Cumberland area for that storm, and then also portions of Garrett into southern Jessamine and down into Madison County as well. So we're going to continue to watch that. Not seeing anything in our weather chat necessarily right now about that little bit of rotation was seeing there on the radar feed, but of course we'll continue to watch it over the next little bit. And if we get anything, looks like actually the Weather Service might be going with let's see here. Let's see if we have any updates from the Weather Service. Severe thunderstorm warning. yeah, we have that one. That's the one down around Lake Cumberland. So again, doesn't really look like seeing anything that they're talking about that. So that is some good news. It doesn't look like they are super concerned about it, I guess, at this point, but we'll continue to watch it and see what they say. Let's go ahead and go back to radar really quick. And before we go back to programming, just want to look at that one more time before we send you back, and just kind of reset if you're just joining us. This line of storms down here is probably the most impressive right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, working into Russell County as we speak. Russell Springs, Jamestown, right along the lake here. If you're in Monticello, you need to be on the lookout. This is working your direction as well. I want to switch radar sites and see if we can get a little bit of a better picture. If we have any small hail with this, it would be right in this area here where those purple shadings are, where that core of the storm is. Also want to just look at velocity on this, see if we see see any rotation. Not much really showing up. So that's some good news. Just looks like right now it's mainly just straight line winds, possibly. But again, notice how with this setup, you can get these reds and greens trying to mix along this front line. And so why we say just to play this safe again with these severe thunderstorm warnings is because you can get a quick spin up tornado. It doesn't take much. Not really seeing any tight couplets here on the velocity, which is good news, but still want to play it safe, take it seriously, because some damaging winds definitely a possibility, especially down working towards Wayne County, working into Clinton County towards Albany right now, and also Jamestown up towards Russell Springs. This is over you as we speak. So pretty nasty, severe thunderstorm working in this direction with some damaging winds over the next little bit. And we're going to continue to watch that one. And then we're also monitoring this severe thunderstorm warning now up in portions of, let's see here, portions of Garrett County, southern portions of Jessamine County, and then eventually is working in the direction of Richmond. So if you're in Madison County, pretty nasty storm here too, right along 27 right now in northern Garrett County, right on the county line here. Look at the heavy rainfall. I want to see if we've seen an uptick in lightning with this. It's about the same, not a whole lot of lightning. So that's some good news. But still, very heavy rainfall, the potential for winds upwards of 60 miles per hour as well. And again, this is working in the direction of Madison County. Really quick, want to go ahead and just see if we're seeing any of that rotation again. Not as much. If there's any, it's right in here. But again, it's not a very significant signature showing up. So that is good news, because there was definitely a little bit of rotation just a little bit earlier, and it's not showing as much of a signature on the rotation detector as well. So again, that is some good news for us with that storm, but still damaging winds, heavy rainfall, definitely a possibility. Up here in the metro, it's pretty much just heavy rain activity and some gusty winds, but not of severe category at this point. We're going to continue to watch this one to the south as well. It's probably the nastiest storm we have this evening. If we have any new warnings, we'll be sure to come in and alert you. And of course, if anything stands out to me, we'll make sure to cut in and make sure you are aware of that. But for now, I want to go ahead and send things back over to programming. And again, if we need to cut in, we will do so. Stay weather aware tonight.
We now return to our regularly scheduled program.
Again, could impact southern portions of Knox County and down into Bell County as well. Let's go ahead and turn on the rotation detector. And again, right where I was pointing to where there could be some very weak rotation. Again, this is very weak. Right along I-75, right on the state line, is really where this is trying to pick up on some rotation here. And again, this is very broad, very weak. So I'm curious, unless they have some sort of confirmation, I'm curious exactly what they're seeing, the Weather Service is seeing with this. But regardless, you want to take it seriously just in case, because again, in these situations, you can get a quick spin up tornado. And we'll see what the latest scan shows on radar. I do want to go ahead and time this out though, because this is moving We said about 45 miles per hour. Could be moving a little more now. If you're in Chenoa, 246. Capito, 248. Davisburg, 249. Edgewood, 251. And Ingram, 252. If you are in those areas, want to go ahead and get in your safe spot now. Lowest level of your home, like a basement, if you have one. If you don't, lowest level interior room, like a bathroom with no windows, or under a staircase, if you have maybe a closet under your staircase, somewhere like that, or just a regular closet, interior room where you can get away from windows on the lowest level. Again, this is just north of Jellicoe Mountain, right along I-75, working eastward right now in portions of Whitley County. So we are continuing to watch that very closely. I'm going to step off. Again, if there is any rotation, it would be right in here, right along I-75 at this point, or even a little further to the south, right on the Tennessee-Kentucky line. That would be the two areas I would be watching for some possible rotation here. We're going to continue to keep an eye on it. It looks like they have allowed the severe thunderstorm warning a little further to the north to expire. We still have this one for Clay, Knox, down into portions of Laurel and Whitley counties. Continuing to watch now a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning down to our most southern counties here. Again, Whitley County into southern Knox and over into Bell County. So we're going to stay with this. I'm going to take a closer look, again, a closer scan here. And we see the reds and greens trying to couple it up. Again, this is very broad, very weak rotation. Not seeing a whole lot of it, but could have some spin going on right in the center here. If we take a closer look, maybe go a little closer to try to get some more town names and road names. About to cross into Bell County in the next little bit. We were seeing a little bit of spin back here just now across I-75. Now we're trying to pick up on a little bit right here, but it is very broad and very weak. So you still want to get in your safe spot and take this seriously, because regardless, you're going to have damaging winds regardless. If you're Goins, Frakes, Pearl, southern portions of Knox County as well here, want to be in your safe spot. Wheeler, KJ, Rain. You just want to take a precaution, get in your safe spot, because again, we do have this tornado warning and it has a little bit of history of some rotation. So you want to just be very careful, take it very seriously. Again, get in the lowest level of your home and interior room. That is the best place to be. If you don't have a basement, interior bathroom, closet, best place to be. Go ahead, ride this out, play it safe. And again, regardless of if there is a tornado, you're still dealing with some damaging winds as well. Very heavy rainfall as well. Let's turn the lightning back on. This storm has a pretty good amount of lightning with it too, which is an indicator that this storm is one of our stronger ones across our area right now. This goes until 2:45. We're going to stay with this over the next little bit as we continue. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue a little further to the north. Knox County up into Clay County. We'll see if they decide to extend this. The good news is the overall trend with this line of storms is over the past several scans and past several minutes, we continue to see weakening taking place. That is why the Weather Service has allowed that warning for a lot of eastern Kentucky to expire. They did not extend it because really there is a lot of weakening taking place, which is good news. We still do have this tornado warning, though, for our southernmost counties, including Whitley, very far southern Knox County over into Bell County for some very weak broad rotation. We'll continue to watch it. We have steady shower, mostly light rain, but steady rain as well, back off across central, south central Kentucky. Continuing. Right now, the only warnings are for our southeasternmost areas right now. Again, portions of Clay County, down into Knox County as well. Nasty storm about to cross over into portions of Bell County. Likely some damaging winds, maybe some small hail right in here, right on the county line, the Knox-Bell County line. And then again, this tornado warning. We'll see what they decide to do with this because again, I'm just not very impressed with the rotation. Regardless, you want to take it seriously, but I'm really just not picking up on any rotation with this storm right now, which is good news. Still some damaging winds a possibility, some very strong winds, gusty winds, definitely a possibility, but not seeing a tight couplet of the reds and greens coming together that we would normally see. Right now, if there's any rotation, with this tornado warning down in Whitley County here, if there is any rotation, it would be right in here. But again, it's very weak and very broad if there's any. Now, there's some strong straight line winds here with this severe thunderstorm regardless, likely upwards of 50, 60 miles per hour. So some strong straight line winds crossing into Bell County right now. So exiting the viewing area. But we still have this tornado warning. And again, if there is any rotation, it would likely be in this area here, but it is still very broad and very weak. We'll see if we continue to get an update on the scan here. We'll continue to follow it for you over the next several minutes. I'm going to step off, see what the Weather Service has to say about this warning, if they're providing any guidance for us. And we'll continue to watch that. Right now, excuse me, it looks like this is all, again, just radar indicated of some broad rotation. Again, on the map right now, there's really not a whole lot that I'm picking up on. The gusty winds with the front line of the storm is now crossing into portions of Bell County. And again, I'm just trying to switch this up. I'm really not seeing rotation with this at this point. Again, there's still some gusty winds. Regardless, that can cause some damage. But right now, it is just, I am just not really seeing a lot of rotation with this at this point. So we'll continue to watch it. That's not to say that you shouldn't take this seriously. You still should. But at this point, I'm trying to analyze it live on TV with you all right now. And if there is any rotation, it is going to be likely, again, I've been pointing this out, we were trying to get some notches right in this area, but it's still not very well defined. Gusty winds, damaging winds are still a possibility, especially crossing into Bell County right now from portions of Whitley County, even the very southern tip of Knox County right now, likely even dealing with some very gusty winds. So again, you still want to take this storm seriously as it is severe at this point. But we're going to continue to watch it. I really don't know if they're going to extend this or not. This is all radar indicated. It looks like they're continuing the tornado warning. They're not extending it, but they are just continuing it for southern portions of Knox County. Again, continuing for Whitley and over into Bell County right now. So trying to look at some data. We're going to keep the map up on your screen while I'm trying to look at some of the latest and see exactly what is going on here. We're continuing to follow this. And I was mentioning earlier, we were getting damage reports out of Wayne County, including at Conley Bottom Marina. And I am now getting video sent to me of damage to boats, and it looks like one of the roofs of the piers there has collapsed. This is in Wayne County. We were getting this report from 911. And again, I'm getting video sent to my phone right now out of Wayne County of significant damage to one of the piers at Conley Bottom Marina, where it looks like a pier has collapsed onto several boats and possibly people trapped on their boats due to that pier collapsing from these severe storms. Again, this is in Wayne County earlier. I'm getting video sent to me right now. But this is just a testament that even if it's just straight line winds, you should take these storms very seriously because straight line winds can do very significant damage. We have seen that throughout the day today. Let's go back to the map. We are continuing to see this, tornado warning, especially in Whitley County. And so we are continuing to see this right now. I'm going to stay with you again for this tornado warning, portions of Whitley County crossing into Bell County. Let's try to get the latest on this really quickly, show you what we're seeing. Looks like some rotation in portions of, let's see, Whitley moving over into Bell County again. It's very broad rotation, but still a little bit of it there. And that's why we're continuing with this tornado warning right now. The Weather Service has decided to continue with it. And yes, we're going to continue to try to keep giving you the latest information on this. Haven't gotten a lot of guidance from the Weather Service at this point. We're continuing to monitor what they are saying. Southern Laurel County looks like a large tree is down in some of those areas from these storms. So again, these storms are producing some damage here. And that's why you want to take it seriously. But we do have this tornado warning continuing for portions of Whitley into Bell and southern Knox County. So we are going to stay with this. Again, I've been saying on air, there has been some areas of broad rotation. So you still want to take it seriously. But there is not the tight couplet we normally look for and normally try to find. But again, this is also a very hard area here. It looks like they're extending this tornado warning now into more of Bell County at this point. Radar has a tough time picking up on this in these areas, especially because just because of where the radar site is. It's kind of far away. But there is some rotation. I'm actually pulling up radar right now on my phone just to try to look at some different product here and look at some different radar sites here. And there is some rotation crossing the county line right now. Again, the Jackson radar site really has a difficult time picking up on some of this just because of it has a lot of terrain that the radar beam has to shoot through, and it's a little further away. But right now, I am actually pulling it up on my phone to kind of show where some of this rotation is. This is why they're continuing this tornado warning right now. It is likely right on the county line, very far southern Knox County, portions of Whitley County. So you still want to be in your safe spot. Again, I've been saying we've been seeing broad rotation. It hasn't been super tight couplet, but I'm also looking at some product on my phone here and trying to look at some new information as well. Let's see what the Weather Service has to say. They're obviously extending this tornado warning. It's radar indicated rotation. Radar indicated at this point, some rotation. And again, this is continuing into portions of Bell County. Right now, right in the county line where the three counties meet here. Okay, that's where we're seeing this take place right now. So I want to show you, because again, I'm analyzing this also on my phone as well. If we have a tornado at this point, because I'm trying to use all the radar sites, this isn't a difficult spot to see. But if we have a tornado at this point open, it looks like they just extended the severe thunderstorm warning as well. We'll get to that in just a second. If we have a tornado, it's likely somewhere down in here. I know it's very hard to see the rotation on the radar. This is crossing from Whitley into far southern Knox County and over into Bell County. Again, our radar site in Jackson is not doing the best job picking up on this just because it's in a difficult spot. But likely if we are seeing a tornado, it is somewhere in that area. This is all radar indicated rotation, but you still want to take it seriously. If you're portions of Whitley County, well, it's now starting to work out of Whitley County into Bell County and far southern Knox County. You want to go ahead and get in your safe spot. If you're down in Bell County as well. Again, we just got the latest scan, and if we're seeing any rotation, it's going to be somewhere right in here. And this is working into Bell County as we speak. So let's put a time tracker on it. Show you exactly. Ponza, 256. Calvin, 258. If you're in Miracle, 302. TJ, 304 for this tornado warning here. Again, radar indicated rotation. And while the couplet is not super tight, there's still rotation there, and it's enough for the Weather Service to continue extending this warning a little further off to the east. So you want to take this seriously, and you want to get in your safe spot. Again, especially if you're in portions of Bell County, far southern Knox County as well. A little bit of rotation. It's now working out of Whitley County. But if we have any viewers down in Bell County, it's technically out of our viewing area, but it's one of those fringe counties where we still probably have some viewers. So I want to stay with this. If you are down in portions of Bell County, including Pineville, just to the north of Middlesboro is where this rotation is. And again, our radar is really having a struggle kind of picking up on it just because it's the Jackson radar site here. And it is a little further away. But if we have any rotation, it's right in here and working into Bell County as we speak. You want to go ahead and get in the lowest floor of your house in an interior room, like a bathroom or closet. Get in your basement. Take a precaution. Again, this is take those precautions. Get in a safe spot just to be safe. Again, if we have any rotation, it's likely right in this area, working into Bell County as we speak right now. I do want to briefly move over to this severe thunderstorm warning that they have extended here now for portions of far eastern Kentucky. This continues into Leslie, southern Perry County, southern Knott County, back into Letcher County as well, as this continues to march east. Okay, so we still have that tornado warning for our far southern areas, mainly into Bell County at this point. Again, if you're in Bell County, you want to get in your safe spot. Get in a basement, interior room of your house. If you have kids' helmets, if you like bike helmets or a baseball helmet or pillows, you want to do what you can to cover yourself if a tornado does touch down and there's flying debris. Go ahead and make those precautions. Get in your safe spot right now as this is continuing to work into Bell County as we speak. Again, the rotation is fairly broad, but we still have rotation with this and you want to take it seriously. This is radar indicated. So we're continuing to watch it very carefully. Severe thunderstorm warnings again continue, especially now working into Leslie County, beginning to exit Clay and Knox County, work into Harlan County and back in towards Letcher County as well in the next several minutes. So this is almost out of the Fox 56 News viewing area, but we still have our far southeastern counties that are included in this right now. All right, I'm going to step off, try to get an update from the Weather Service on this tornado warning and see if I can give you the latest information on this. Again, we're getting lots of damage reports, especially in south central Kentucky from this line of storms earlier this evening. So I'm continuing to try to compile through all the information as we get it. And we continue to see this tornado warning as well, especially down now working into Bell County. So we're going to stay with this. Again, I want to try to put on some of this rotation here. Here is where the rotation would be. Somewhere in this area right here is where we would be seeing that rotation right now. Let me circle that one more time. And let's actually go ahead and zoom in a little further, try to get some roads here for you. If you're just north of Middlesboro, it looks like, let's see here, just north of Middlesboro, just south of Pineville. I mean, you are both included in this tornado warning, so you want to get in your safe spot. I'm trying to see what roadway this is here. If you're in Ferndale, Clear Creek Springs, Meldrum, you want to get in your safe spot. Binghamtown, you want to get in your safe spot as well if you're down in portions of Bell County right now. We are continuing to watch this very closely. I'm seeing on my phone, again, because I'm trying to look at some other data as well, a tighter couplet right back where we're talking about here, and these areas right in here where these reds and greens come together. I know that's not the best drawing, so let me try that one more time. Right where these reds and greens come together. So if you're in Middlesboro, get in your safe space. In portions of Bell County, this is continuing to work off to the east. Get in your safe spot. If you're in Hutch, this is getting to you at 301. If you are in Ponza, 301 as well. Calvin, 303. It's 249 right now. If you're in Oaks, 307. TJ, 308. If you are in those areas, it's likely a good idea to just go ahead and get in your safe spot. Go ahead and do that as we are seeing some rotation now down in these areas here. So we're going to continue to watch this very closely over the next several minutes in portions of Bell County, trying to look at the data as it comes in, excuse me, and give you the latest as it continues to roll in here. Let's go ahead and talk about the rotation detector. We are tracking a little bit of weak rotation with this as well. Trying to just look at the latest information here. And let's see here, we'll go ahead and switch things back over again to the velocity. But again, if you are in Bell County, you want to go ahead and get in that safe spot in some of these communities right now. Lowest level of your home, the basement, good idea to do that. This will remain in effect. This goes until, let's see here. This one, it looks like they might be allowing this. I'm not sure if they're continuing this or allowing it to expire. I'm trying to get the latest on this, but we'll see what they decide to do with this tornado warning over the next several minutes here, okay? But for right now, we're continuing to see some of that rotation, especially working into Bell County right now as we speak. Again, if there is any rotation, it's likely somewhere in this area. And again, this is working up to slightly now to the north and east. So if you're in portions of Bell County, you want to get in your safe spot. Whitley County, this is now past you at this point. This is now working again into Bell County right now. This is mainly past Whitley County at this point. But we still want to monitor this over the next several minutes as this tornado warning continues here. I'm looking again at another radar site. And if you're in Middlesboro, likely want to get in your safe spot because some of that rotation, again, is right in this area. And I know our radar site here right now is not picking up on it. That's why I am also looking at some data coming in on my phone as well. But there is a little more rotation and a little more tight of a couplet. And you can kind of see these reds and greens coming together right in this area. So if you're in Middlesboro, or a little further to the north, Binghamtown, Knowtown, Edgewood, get in your safe spot in your home as this tornado warning is underway. Also Ferndale, Meldrum, Colmar, Hutch, back towards Ponza, Calvin, East Pineville. You want to get in your safe spot right now as you have some time to do so as this tornado warning is continuing for us. And again, it goes for 7 more minutes. So we will see what they decide to do with this. There's also some rotation right now just south of Pineville right here. So I'm watching 2 areas kind of closely, but there's a little more of a tight couplet right in this area in between Middlesboro and Pineville. So that's why I really want several areas to get in your safe spot just in case, because there is a couplet right in this area in between Pineville and Middlesboro. And again, this is working towards the northeast. So if you're in Ponza, Calvin, Varilla, Miracle, TJ, Oaks, go ahead and get in your safe spot. If you're in these surrounding areas as well in Bell County, you do want to go ahead and get in your safe spot. This is, and again, what we're seeing happen is with these straight line winds, we've been talking about this evening, that these winds come together along these lines of storms sometimes, and with the strongest winds here, you can get some of these stronger areas, stronger pockets along the line of storms here that can spin up a quick tornado, and that's what we're watching. But this area I have circled is one of the areas I'm watching for some rotation where there is a tighter couplet there. There's also one I'm watching in this warning area back in this area in southwestern portions of Bell County. So that's why I say right now, just to be safe, you want to go ahead and get in your safe spot in these areas here. Just to the north of Middlesboro, just to the south of Pineville. We have a couplet right in this area right here. And then again, I'm watching one, analyzing some other data just to the south right here. And when we have these lines of storms like this, it is easy for a quick tornado to spin up along the line of storms, especially with the conditions the way they are. So Bell County, you want to get in your safe spot. If you are in southern Knox County, this has pretty much cleared you at this point. It's also out of Whitley County. So Whitley County, I'm giving you the all clear. This is mainly just for Bell County right now. And it looks like the latest scan is trying to do a little bit of a better job of picking up on some of this rotation. You can see a little couplet right in here as well. And we're still watching this one and this one too. So along this line, it's really, you can see where all the reds and greens are kind of mixing together here. And that's where we're seeing some rotation in this tornado warning down in Bell County. If you're along 119 or live along those areas, you want to get in your safe spot. Again, Pineville, don't want to give you the all clear yet. Middlesboro, same story. Go ahead and stay in your safe spot. If you're not already there, get there. Basement, lowest room of your house or lowest level of your house in an interior room. Take a precaution. Go ahead and get there. This is all radar indicated rotation, but you still want to take it seriously as this tornado warning continues for portions of Bell County. Again, this continues for until 3 a.m. We have about 4 more minutes, so we'll see what the Weather Service decides to do with it here. They might go ahead and allow it to expire because, again, the whole time, a lot of this has been fairly broad rotation, but there's still been just enough that could spin up a tornado. And even when it was first issued back in Whitley County, there was some broad rotation, but it's still been enough where you could possibly get that quick spin up or get a tornado fire up in those areas. But again, if you're back in Whitley County now, you are in the all clear at this point. This warning is continuing for Bell County right now for about 3 more minutes here. Let's go ahead and reset. 2:56 right now on this Memorial Day morning. If you're just joining us, continuing to track severe weather across southeastern Kentucky. All the storms a little further to the north are now not severe. However, we do still have those severe warnings in far southeastern Kentucky, including this tornado warning for portions of Bell County. We're going to stay with this for the next little bit. Steady shower activity, though, back towards Pulaski, Wayne County, down into Russell County as well. We're continuing to see the severe thunderstorm warnings again for Leslie County, southern Perry County, working into Harlan and Letcher County. This also is continuing for eastern parts of Knox County. Strong thunderstorm working through with potentially damaging winds at this point. This is almost out of the Fox 56 News viewing area, but we're going to stay with it over the next little bit as this continues. Again, just about 2 minutes left in this tornado warning, so we will see what the National Weather Service decides to do with this. There has been some broad rotation with it, again. So we will continue to see exactly what the Weather Service decides to do with this tornado warning. Regardless, if you're in Bell County, especially the farther eastern parts of Bell County, you want to go ahead and get in your safe spot. Take it seriously just to be safe. Rather be safe than sorry in a situation like this when we're dealing with dangerous and severe thunderstorms. So 2:58 now. And again, this warning expires at 3 o'clock. Let's go back up, reset here, show you these severe thunderstorms. This polygon goes till 3:30, about 30 more minutes or so, 36 minutes or so left for the severe thunderstorm warning as this continues to march off to the east. Back off to the west, we still have steady rain for south central Kentucky. Somerset back up into Casey County, Russell County as well. We'll side a little further to the north here. Light rain over Lexington right now. Steady showers for northeastern Kentucky. None of this is severe. Likely still seeing some rumbles of thunder, though, especially working out towards the let's see here, portions working towards West Virginia and far south or far eastern Kentucky. The severe thunderstorms, though, continue to the south. So we will see what the Weather Service decides to do here, again with this tornado warning. It expires in about 30 seconds. So we'll see if they continue it. I believe they're going to go ahead and let it expire, but we shall see in the next few minutes. I haven't stepped over to my computer to see if they provided us an update, but this is down towards Bell County again. And again, the rotation with this has been fairly has not been super impressive, but every once in a while you'll get a tight little couplet with a little bit of rotation with this storm. We saw that happening in portions of Whitley County. The storm has since passed there, and we'll see if that happens, if we see that happen anymore as it moves off to the east. All right. We're at 3 a.m. now, which is when this warning is supposed to expire, so we'll see if it goes off the screen. Regardless, this is still a strong thunderstorm working into southeastern Kentucky right now as we speak. All right, 3 a.m. Let's click on the box, see if they have any guidance for us. Okay, so it looks like they've allowed the tornado warning to expire. So that is good news if you were in Bell County. Tornado warning has expired. That tornado warning is now over. We still have gusty winds, though, now about to work into Harlan County and eventually working up towards Letcher County as well. So we're continuing to see this line of strong to severe storms work through far southeastern Kentucky. But the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. So Bell County, southern Knox County, even back into Whitley County. I gave you the all clear moments ago, but just want to reemphasize that tornado warning has now been allowed to expire here, and now we're just dealing with some severe thunderstorms with the potential for damaging winds. Let's slide a little further to the north here. From portions of, let's see, Perry County, Hazard dealing with some heavy rain right now. Heavy rain through Leslie County. Same story back in through Bell County. Now about to work into portions of Harlan County. Southern Knott County. This is working in your direction as well. Let's turn on the lightning, see where we're seeing a lot of it. You can see some lightning strikes here in this part in Leslie County. But the overall trend with this line of storms is as it marches east, and this is what was expected for us here in Kentucky, as it marches east, it does continue to weaken. So that is some good news. The strongest storms we have right now are these storms right here. And again, if you're just tuning back in, the tornado warning for portions of Whitley, southern Knox into Bell County has been allowed to expire. That is no longer on the table. That tornado warning has expired. That was in Bell County just moments ago. Now we are just left with the severe thunderstorm warnings here that continue for far southeastern Kentucky. Again, we're getting damage reports all across southern Kentucky tonight. And one thing to note is from this same line of storms, damage at Conley Bottom Marina down in the Lake Cumberland area in Wayne County. So we are getting damage reports of that, and we're going to continue to try to get updates on that. There were some reports of some people trapped on their boats after a roof collapsed. Again, this is confirmed to us by some viewers on the ground there that have sent me video. So again, we're continuing to follow that, and hopefully we'll have the latest on all this damage. And again, I know the newsroom is aware of it, so hopefully we'll have the latest information on a lot of this damage on Fox 56 News on our morning show starting at 5 a.m. We'll get some new insight into some of this, but obviously first responders, power crews, road crews, a lot of people are busy tonight because they were picking up from the earlier afternoon line of storms, and then now here is the second one that has just been an insult to injury, especially across southern Kentucky tonight. We continue to see the severe thunderstorm warning continue marching eastward. Again, it is in our far southeasternmost communities, but we are going to stay with it until it's out of our area as a precaution. All right, it's 3:03 now on this Memorial Day morning. If you've just tuned in, you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. We've been following this line of strong to severe storms over the past couple hours now as they continue to march off to the east. Still have steady rainfall back off to the west, Pulaski County, Wayne County into Russell County, even up Casey, Boyle, Mercer, Garrett, Lincoln counties, some steady rain, Laurel County. Starting to break up a little bit back here. Light rain possibly over Lexington, Jessamine County, back in towards Woodford County. Breaking up a little bit over Madison County, Harrison County. It's drier now at this point. Steady showers still continuing with some heavy rain across far eastern Kentucky. Let's go ahead. These storms are not severe, but likely still bringing the chance for some damaging winds here or some gusty winds. And this is working through Louisa right now as we speak. So if you're in Lawrence County, again, this is not severe, about to cross the river into West Virginia, but a steady thunderstorm. We still have the severe thunderstorm warnings farther to the south, our far southeasternmost communities. And again, I want to stay with this until it gets out of our viewing area, just to finish things up here. If you're just tuning in, you may have woken up from alerts on your phone. The tornado warning that was in southern Knox County and into Bell County has expired. And if you were in Whitley County and maybe woke up to some of those alerts on your phone, that tornado warning is now gone for you. Whitley County, you're in the clear. We're just dealing with some steady rain at this point, light rain. Again, we're continuing to get updates on damage across southern Kentucky. I just saw some video on my phone that was sent to me from a viewer of a roof collapse at Conley Bottom Marina in Wayne County. This is all thanks to this line of thunderstorms. We're getting reports of some people trapped. Again, we're going to try to get the latest information on that from first responders. But again, this just goes to show you this line of strong to severe storms is capable of producing damage. We've seen power outages continue to increase once again. They got much better earlier this evening after that first initial line of storms. And now, especially across southern Kentucky, we're seeing a lot of those power outages back once again. We're going to stay with just this for just a few more minutes. It is almost out of our viewing area, and then we're going to go back to programming. We've been tracking this for the past couple of hours here. Steady rain, southern Perry County down through Leslie County. Heavier rain with some rumbles of thunder. Now about to work into portions of Harlan County. Steady rain again in Bell County. Likely some gusty winds along the front of this at this point. Steady rain back off to the west as well. It is dry. Not dry, rather. It is steady, but not severe at this point. All right, really quickly, going to go ahead and hop off. Want to update you on some of those power outages I was talking about just moments ago. We were talking about that for the past little bit here and talking about some of that damage across our southernmost areas. We are continuing to see power outages uptick once again, especially where this line of storms continues to push across right now. Let's go ahead and go county by county. Pulaski County has the most right now. Still 6,500 customers in Pulaski County without power. Down in Wayne County, we're at 4,500 customers without power. McCreary, 1,500. Whitley, 1,000. Laurel County, 2,000 customers. If you're in Knox County, 1,500 customers without power. Looks like over into, let's see here, Clay County, 2,000 customers without power. Still power outages, 1,500 in Madison, 1,000 in Garrett, 1,500 in Boyle. Still have a little bit here in Fayette County, 900 customers without power in Fayette County, 1,000 in Woodford. So this is still fairly significant. We're continuing to see these severe thunderstorm warnings continue for our far southeastern counties, but the damage is done. Kentucky is actually leading the nation in power outages from these 2 rounds of severe storms that we've seen throughout your Sunday and now into the early morning hours on this Memorial Day. We are continuing to see this line of storms continue for you. 60-mile-per-hour winds for Bell, Harlan, Leslie, Letcher, and portions of Perry County. Some small hail is also a possibility here from the Weather Service. That's the latest update coming in about 4 minutes ago. We have 204, I was talking about those power outages. We have 204,212 customers without power across the state. So a lot of people are impacted tonight, or should I say early this morning, with those power outages. All right, let's do one more time. Look at these warnings, and then we're going to send things back to programming for you. You can see again, this continues for portions of far southeastern Kentucky, southern Perry County, just south of Hazard, down into Leslie County, now working into Bell and Harlan counties. This is it that's left in the viewing area. For our viewing area, Fox 56 News' viewing area, the last little bit working out of Leslie and Perry County right now as we speak. Very heavy rainfall, just a couple flashes of lightning. One thing I want you to notice, I've been talking about how this has been weakening as it marches east, and notice the lightning. There's just not as much as there was much earlier. That is an indicator for us that things are weakening as well. A little further to the south, If I know we were talking about a lot of Bell County, the potential for that tornado a little bit earlier. If you're on the Whitley, Bell, Knox County lines here, you guys are in the all clear, just dealing with some light rain at this point. Steadier stuff, again, working out of the Fox 56 News viewing area as we speak. All right, Chief Meteorologist Justin Logan has just joined me. I think he's getting mic'd up and going to have him just kind of take a look at things before we go back to programming. But for the most part, as we've been emphasizing, this is really weakening as it marches to the east. And now if we regroup here, 309, almost 310 now, excuse me, on this Memorial Day morning. If we go back off to the west, steady showers continuing. So we're going to continue to watch for an aerial flood threat possibly for some areas, especially in areas farther to the south. And then we'll go, again, the severe thunderstorm warnings right now for our area continue for portions of Leslie into Perry County, Harlan, and down into Bell County as well. But really, this is working out. Everything to the north is no longer severe at this point. Just some rumbles of thunder, some steady rainfall. So that is some good news as this continues to march off to the east. All right, Justin Logan, our chief meteorologist, is joining us. Justin is over at the Weather Center. Justin, obviously, I've been tracking this for the past 2 hours. It is great to see this is weakening. The unfortunate part, my friend, is the damage is done. And unfortunately, we're continuing to see damage reports roll in. And Justin, do you have your mic on?
Yes.
Are you? Okay, is the control room able to get his mic on? We'll see if we can get that in just a second. All right, we're good. So Justin is joining me now. Justin, again, it is good that we are seeing this weekend as it continues to march off to the east. But again, the damage is done. Power outages statewide. Potential. We have a survey team going out to portions just outside of Corbin, portions of Knox County, potentially surveying today a possible tornado just outside of Corbin. And then we also have survey teams going out for a very destructive storm and possible tornado that went through portions of western Kentucky. So damage is done, a lot of power outages and a lot of damage. But the good news is most of this is working on out of here, my friend.
Yeah, that definitely, that's the good news, as you mentioned there. I mean, I've got this going all the way back to about midnight here. I rewound the clock and you can see at 12:11 how the storms were still mainly back west of our viewing area. Then as we stepped you through time, you can clearly notice that the most intense portion of this was down toward Lake Cumberland. We did have obviously a few severe thunderstorms in central Kentucky as well, going through Garrett, Jessamine, and even over into Madison County then. But the storms continue to really weaken on the at least most of that northern end. Then it got into far eastern Kentucky, and look how this line kind of ticked up in intensity a bit, and there went that tornado warning that Peyton was mentioning and came on the air for that went through Bell County, southern parts of Knox County, and then that moved out. Okay, so current time 3:12 here on your Monday morning. No longer any tornado warnings, just a few severe thunderstorm warnings for Perry County, also for Bell, Harlan, Letcher, and southern parts of Leslie, or really eastern parts of Leslie and southern parts of Knott. Now behind that, you can rest easy, okay? Not even really any lightning going on, but definitely still some steadier or some heavier rain. You work your way from Danville down into Liberty, into Casey County, into Somerset. But really, the storms of the hour still are down here. And the intensity of this, to be honest, is really getting weaker. Peyton mentioned this a moment ago. When you get a real decrease in lightning, that is one indication that your storm overall intensity is weakening. Let me show you at the what the velocity in terms of the winds inside the storms look like in this. Still pretty potent right here on top of Harlan right now. And again, this is a little bit elevated from the radar site, the radar being off the ground, but we could still here into parts of Harlan County have winds that are gusting. Let's check this out. This is saying about 30-40 miles per hour, so that would obviously be below severe thunderstorm criteria. So we're going to give this one more county over, and once that moves out, we're going to send it back to programming here and obviously have a full update when we come back on for Fox 56 News beginning at 5 o'clock this morning. Let me just go through some of the damage reports. Peyton was talking back. Look at these. All right. Mainly filling in across southern Kentucky. look at all these across Pulaski County. This is into Somerset here. Let's see, Mesonet Station, Somerset wind, non-thunderstorm wind gusts 59 miles per hour. That was yesterday afternoon, actually. So a lot of these actually came in a little bit delayed for yesterday afternoon, but just kind of a couple of rounds late afternoon yesterday, but then also with these storms that came through here into the overnight. Peyton, you were mentioning that down at Lake Cumberland, that was with the storms here into the overnight.
Yeah, that was just about an hour or so ago. Looks like my mic's off. Let's get that back on. Is it back on now? Control room, can you let me? Okay, looks like my mic is off. So we're gonna get that back on.
All right, we'll touch with him in just a second here. But again, we're at least in the last wave of this, and then after this round of storms from Bell Harlan County right now, and then Letcher County is over. We're going to be seeing some much brighter signs in terms of the storms getting out of here.
Yes, and it looks like there's a new tornado warning here, but it looks like it's completely out of the state here, really for Tennessee into portions of Virginia. So that's some good news. Again, this is continuing to work off to the east. And Justin was talking about some of that damage in Wayne County at Conley Bottom. We had a possible roof collapse on one of the piers there at the marina. We're getting reports. I just talked with the newsroom. Fire department, first responders obviously responded right away, and they believe they have everybody accounted for. So that's the good news. There's still no word on injuries with that. So we will try to get updates on that. Of course, we will have the latest on Fox 56 News starting at 5 a.m. with all the damage. And unfortunately, we've been talking about even last night after NASCAR when we went on air and did a quick 30-minute newscast. This storm system has turned deadly, unfortunately, as well, and we're continuing to track these strong storms as they're finally working out of the viewing area. Justin, what are you seeing? You think we're about ready to throw things back?
Yeah, the last our viewing area for people that watch at home, we go usually from Whitley over into Knox, Clay County, over even into Perry and parts of Leslie. Once you get down into Bell, Harlan, Letcher County, our viewership really cuts off in our at least total coverage area there. But when we have a tornado warning, we know we had some viewers there, we wanted to stay longer, but that is now expired. Intensity of this really has gone down. I showed you this a moment ago. I was looking at sustained, or at least on the leading edge. Yeah, still some gusty winds here just east of Harlan. But even those are not at least severe intensity according to the radar. And usually when you get off the surface, at least by about 1,000 or 2,000 feet, you're going to find winds that are getting a little bit stronger. In this case here, we're shooting above the surface and we're only still finding 30, 35 mile per hour winds that may be a little bit stronger initially down at the bottom because we've had some gusty winds. But I think that they're probably going to allow this to expire a little bit early as the leading edge of this is really moving out across our state. One little recap here. I want to take this out over the next hour or so. This is how fast that they're moving. Within 1 hour's time, we expect that line of storms, if it's lingering anywhere in the state, it would be into far eastern parts of Pike County. And then the rest of us, Peyton, are just really wrapping up with some steadier rain that I'm sure some people still obviously hear on their rooftops this morning.
Yeah, which is good news that, again, this is really weakening, continuing to work its way off to the east, now exiting our viewing area, and now it's just some plain old steady rain. Obviously, we'll continue to monitor for some localized flooding concerns just because we've seen so much rain, especially across our southern counties over the past week or so. All right, well, it looks like we're going to go ahead and send things back to regularly scheduled programming. Justin Logan, Chief Meteorologist here, will be here all morning long starting at 5 a.m. We'll have updates on all the severe weather from Sunday into this very early Memorial Day morning. Thank you so much for spending your overnight with me. And again, he'll have you covered coming up in just about an hour and a half or so. Thanks for joining us.
We now return to our regularly scheduled program.